hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hack?
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. How you been?
Good, good. CinderCypher, can I tell them about this past Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually got to see CinderCypher in person in LA because I was able to co-host a red carpet event. Woo! So I've had a very good week, and I'm
Yeah,
exhausted.
what? I bet. A lot of travel, but it sounds like that was an awesome event.
Yeah, it was. It was really great. It was really great. And dressed to impress the both of us. So it was really nice to see people and, work the event and watch a free movie, which is always nice. And then, it all comes down and you're sent home. It's very Wizard of Oz, you know, looks good. And then it's just the same thing as everybody else. You got to pick it up and put it down. And then by the end of the night, everybody who was working is like, go home, everybody, go home. It was a great time.
Good. Well, good to have you back. And Cinder Cipher, you can get us started.
Kick us off. All right. We actually have a
Kick
lot of
us off.
exciting stuff for today. But I think we all know the routine, which is I think the very first thing we do, Zorling, is pick our one sole winner for today's AMA.
The first thing we do is give money away.
It is true, yes.
All right. Let me make that happen. And here we go. Riley. Riley, you are the AMA Hour winner. Winner of one soul coming your way. So watch your wallet,
Ooh.
and that should land soon. Now hold on, is Riley? No, Riley's legit, right? Riley's not part of the
Riley's
development
right in
team,
front
so
of me.
he. All right. Well, congrats, Riley. And there we go. My job is
Awesome.
done.
Cool. Well, then I'll just move right into a couple of just real quick announcements. So we talked about this a little bit in last week's AMA, and we're pretty excited for some of the upcoming sneak peeks and things that we're going to be able to share with the community. And so I wanted to just kind of seed to everyone that we will be pushing another update to the white paper. We should expect that to go live within this next week before the next AMA, and this includes quite a bit of, I'd say, quite a bit of eye candy, a lot of imagery showing a lot of the areas of the white paper that we've described will now have visuals to support. And so I want to make sure that as we push those live, we're getting community feedback, and yeah, we're just really excited to start showing off the feature set, which actually we'll talk about a little bit later in the AMA today, because we do have some other things we'll be sharing in here.
I'm excited to get all of your eyes on this. I've had some sneak peeks. CinderCypher has pulled me in and showed me some very cool things, and I think you guys will be excited to see it. I was.
Yeah, we're getting pretty far along, so now we're starting to get really excited. I think the team's finally reached that point where we've come together and we're really, gosh, I think our next steps, we're just really excited not just to expose the visuals, but to start getting some of these playable actions in and getting community feedback in that manner as well. So we're just plugging along, and with each week we'll have more and more that we can share. So I'm just looking here at a couple of other things that we do have coming up. It's probably worth discussing, Zorling, our cocktail hour.
Cocktail hour. Yeah, that's been running. It's kind of been. We had a little bonus time here in April. Initially, we discussed running it through the month of March, but why stop a good thing? So we kept it rocking and rolling. Now we are actually going to end our cocktail hour the end of next week. So we've got one more week for all of you that have not been able to win or haven't been able to participate. Jump on in to the game during the cocktail hour, and best of luck to you. So that is the update.
So To clarify there, would you say it's safe to say that we should expect next Friday evening to be the final cocktail hour, and unless otherwise specified?
Next Friday evening. Yeah, and thank you for clarifying. That will
No
be.
problem.
We will be powering down the bot. Now, don't you worry. We're not destroying the bot. We're not ripping the bot apart. We're just powering it down. So there may be a time the bot comes back to life with some other goodies.
Or even a different feature or event of some sort.
Indeed.
Um, well, cool. We do have oh, yeah, Hack, actually, do you want to talk a little bit about the creature contest we have going on?
It was awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys did such a good job. The the moth, moth, dude, that was awesome. I just was blown away. I mean, do you guys want me to announce the winners, or because I'm just gonna go in a circle talking about how great everybody did. I was just I wasn't shocked because I know our community's really talented, but just the way that everybody did it. So do you want me to announce the winners?
Are those posted right now?
Yeah,
Is
go
it?
right.
Yeah, on social. They're all retweeted and shared and posted. So fifth place for half a soul is hold on, let me get the name right on this one. Hexel. Congratulations. I think that's your name. Um fourth place is for half a soul is Corander. Congratulations for your centaur. Third place, my personal favorite, for half a soul is Moth.
Now, moth. This is the one that was modeled. The modeled
Was
moth.
Yes, it was modeled. It was
yes.
modeled, yeah.
A little sculpty action. That was incredible.
Was the lighting that did it for me. It was not only the sculpting, but the lighting. I was like, this is a mood. This is a phone backdrop. This looks great. Like I'd want that in my room. Now, second place for winner of One Soul is Blue Lizard 29. Congratulations. And first place is one of my favorites for one Fae is Bone Sod. I thought his stubby-eyed creatures, they were so cute, and I kind of want them in a plushy form. So I think that's something we should discuss. No, but
Honestly, you are not wrong. Heck, we struggled picking these winners. Honestly, we looked at these, and if I move from third to first, the moth, taking it into the real world, modeling it, the lighting, all of that was so awesome. And then we started going over Blue Lizards, and we were looking at the Merfolk, and we really appreciated the design elements. They had die show associations, like the affinity for a specific die show. They'd taken into account some of the things that we're actively pursuing within the game. And then I have to say, Bonesod's stubby, I call them the stubby little eye creatures.
beautiful.
Um, oh, they just fit. They fit the Cinder theme really, really well. And honestly, the visual design on those was just incredible. So
Yeah,
everybody did a great
I
job.
I think we need to get Bonesod up on stage at some point in time where I can ask questions about these creatures. Visually, they're stunning. I'd like to commission Bonesod to do some art for myself, but I got questions about these creatures. Like, are these like those? What are they called? The water bears? Are they really, really strong creatures? I just have a lot of. That could be kind of fun.
just
Well,
any kind
I hope this is not.
of go
Oh,
on
go
Cypher.
ahead.
I was just gonna go on. I was just gonna gush, be like, oh my god, they're all so good. Oh my goodness, like it's. I don't have anything intelligent to add.
I, well, I'm super hopeful this in no way offends, but I actually saw these and thought, oh my gosh, these are what I wish like the Axies looked like in Axie Infinity. These look so much cooler and kind of had that same little stubby chibi vibe to them. So
Bone
The
thoughts are
the
precious, precious.
the geek in me saw them as. Has anybody ever looked at those? I think they're called tardigrades. Is that the official? These little
yes,
creatures that
yes, the water bear.
can live through pretty much anything. That's kind of what I was seeing with these guys. So anyway, amazing work. Lots of questions. So
Very, very cool.
You kind of nail on
Cool.
the
And
head
then
grades, because that's exactly, it was like, this looks like something, I forgot the name of it, and here's Zorling's coming in with scientific names, and it's like, okay, he got it.
Even a blind squirrel finds
yeah.
a nut from time to time. Hack.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I live by that one. All right, Cypher, continue. I'm sure you've got a full
All right. Well,
agenda
hey,
for us.
we have a lot going on. I did want to ask, so in terms of these rewards, will they be seeing all these rewards during today's AMA, or should they expect them later this evening? Just want to make sure we're staying on top of
They
when these
will.
will be
They will.
delivered. Awesome.
Before we get off the stage, our winners, with the exception of the Fae. The Fae is a little harder to transfer over. It's coming from another wallet, but everybody else will definitely see their soul. So, Bonesod, hang tight. You'll get the Fae. It will land, but I cannot promise before the end of the AMA. So, there you go.
Cool. I am just sending over to the community group right now and to the social group the next piece that we're looking to share. So we're pretty excited. Today we have a sneak peek of the NFT generator. And so we've been working hard. We wanted to make sure we could expose this to the community. Now this is not in its final state, although we are very close. So there are a couple pieces that we're still polishing up, and in this, it's effectively a GIF that we're showing. And in this GIF, we don't show every single category because we're still wrapping or kind of tying a bow on a few areas today. So super excited to show this though. Hopefully, I mean, and and Hack, if you're able, or maybe we could post this up on Discord and let everyone take a peek, or maybe that is Rain, or just anyone who's available.
Yeah, we got you. This looks great.
Awesome. It's super cool.
is,
It shows the power of the tool, but not all of the capabilities of the tool. So,
is this the first time you've seen a hack?
Yes, it is. What the heck?
Uh,
I need
isn't
to
it cool?
do meetings. I got to get it on this club. Like, I feel like there's a cool kids club, and I'm just below it.
That's so not true. But when I did see the imp the first time, and actually these, the creator tools, these guys have been working on it. I love how unique you can make these imps. I mean, just the imp in general. I like these little creatures of mayhem, and it was fun to see. So I think it'll be fun to send that out for everybody else to take a peek at.
well, if I may, a fun fact about this generator is it's powerful, but it's not going to be even as powerful as the Daisho customizer that's coming next. And I'm hopeful we can preview that to the community here shortly as well. Um, but a couple things I was thinking to answer. I did see this question pop up on the AMA questions, and it was regarding maybe some of the themes or the items that they had seen on the Fae that didn't actually appear to be on the Fae once we minted that character. That's due to the fact that we kind of have an iterative process where we do a lot of manipulation of our content. We iterate a lot. Some things get cut, some things maybe become out of scope, or maybe don't work in the way that we intended. And I would say we should expect the same thing with what you're going to see in the imp generator today. While it's very close to final, there are a few things, maybe an expression or two, or maybe a tattoo that will be switched to something else, or will be supplemented with something else by the time that this releases, which is not very far away. So. Let's see.
Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm just sending people money.
Okay. I think that's a good reason to be quiet. Oh, let's see here. Oh, and then I guess, really, we have a bunch of questions today. We could just dive right into those. If everybody is ready.
I'm ready. Let's see what we've got.
Do it.
Okay, so I'll just kind of hit a couple of these right out of the gate, but we have one that's asking if we'll have to pay Solana or Sol to mint their imp, or will the airdrop token just allow the mint to take place? And really, our goal is to get this working without requiring any more than your creator token. And so that is the behind the scenes work that's going on now. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Zorling.
No, not really. I think you've hit all the high notes. The truth is, it's been a big goal for us to just have it require the creators token, and that's not for those of you that follow, minting NFTs and the different storage accounts that are required. It's been a fun technical challenge for us to solve. So it's safe to say our primary goal is to make it so you need nothing more than the creator token, and we'll be able to create a very cool uh, imp NFT that will land back into your private wallet. So that's what we're shooting for.
Super exciting. Um, let's see, we have another one here from Penniless Imp 749, and this one says, I know things are tight-lipped with the possible secret partnership with other platforms such as VR and other metaverses. I won't get a straight answer from you because of policies and legalities. However, would you be able to say that things are going well or not so well, or to be continued? Will we see an update on this topic this year, or will it be further down the line? Um, so in terms of, it's correct. We can't really say much here, and in fact, I think that would be more in CinderCypher's realm. But I can say things are going good. I can say that things won't be, you know, late this year or next year. It should be, weeks rather than years. And if you're asking specifically about things like VR and AR, aside from some simple tests, we don't have a ton going on there yet. Our focus is in a lot of other areas, but these strategic partnerships are still rocking. Um, there's another one. I'll just take a few of these off because we have another one from Penniless 749, and it's I think I got the impression from previous mentions of the UI that you were going to overhaul it. Is there an ETA for this? Is it coming soon? Usually with UI overhauls, there normally are new features built in. Can you confirm any new UI features that are going to be coming? And so that actually is correct. We are doing a complete UI overhaul. That's well underway. I'd say a lot of aspects of the new features that we're implementing, as well as the things we're previewing, even the NFT generator for the imp, are starting to hint at what that new UI will look like. Really, first pass here, we're looking at cleaning up every area of the UI as much as possible, making things easy to understand, and simplifying how a player navigates that UI. But it might be a month or two before we really see that full UI overhaul implemented across the entire game. As for new features, yes, there are new features, and those features do require UI, but most of those outside of the generator are not able to be shared quite yet, but more on those to come very soon. In fact, I think as soon as this generator is out, the topic of discussion on these AMAs will shift to some of these upcoming releases. So we have another one here. Xorling, I think this one's kind of in your arena.
Okay. Will you read it to me, and I will do my best to answer it.
Yes, and so this is a long one, and so we had a bunch of questions that came in from WorderCat, and WorderCat, I'm certain we won't be able to get to every single one of them.
This is the bug,
But
the security question he was asking. They were
yes,
asking.
Web3 security, yes.
Oh, okay. So the question really was talking about is bringing up the fact that this Web3 space, it's a huge target for exploits, right? For bad actors to jump in and attempt to find different areas they can compromise. We've seen this with the Ronin, the Ronin blockchain and Axie Infinity, and then Wormhole, which is part of Solana's. Essentially, it's chain to chain transfers, and yeah, I mean that's just scratching the surface. There have been a lot of different malicious exploits, people digging into smart contracts and finding ways around them. To answer the question, it was really, hey, will Cinder consider a program that would reward people for disclosing these exploits? And the answer is absolutely. Now, we don't have it formalized at this point, but we do have it formalized for one of our other properties, and we've always called it our bug bounty program. And it's actually worked really well. We've got really participant that we've worked with now for maybe over a year, and scanning the audience to see if they might be around today. But they've done an amazing job participating in this program. And we'd like to take on as many people that are interested in participating in a program like this. And here's the gist of it: is any kind of compromise, vulnerability that you can find, it helps us if we can address that before it gets out to the public. And so, yeah, we will. Long story short, we would definitely look at that, and we will establish a formalized program for a bug bounty in Cinder. At this point, everything we've done in regards to security are extremely tight. We're using well-known programs. In Solana, they're called programs. Ethereum, they're called smart contracts. And these have been vetted by multiple different security experts around the industry. So we don't have anything, we haven't deployed our own custom programs that would lead to any kind of security compromise at this point. But when that day happens, which will be in the near future, that's all part of the plan. And on top of that, it's not just a bug bounty. We also will have dedicated security experts in those domains, in those realms that'll be reviewing and auditing these contracts before they go live, these programs. So, long answer to a short question, but I hope I answered that okay.
Oh, that's great. So I can send you bugs for money.
Absolutely, yes. You can send bugs for money, and look, it works. It's based on the type of bug. We have a whole scale that we measure the size of the bug and how realistic it would be to compromise or to leverage in the real world. So yes, it's all possible. Actually, if you just said, Cypher, that if you submit bugs, you'll get paid. I don't know about that. I'll have to ask the boss.
I kind of thought you'd say that. Cool. I'll keep kind of ticking away. We have so many here today. We have another question from Penniless Imp 749. It says, I realize that optimizations are constantly being implemented and you can pretty much run Cinder from most computers, but could we have a minimum spec system requirements posted on the Cinder IO page, just in case one person somewhere in the world tries to install the game on Windows 95, 100 megabytes of free disk space, and 16 megabytes of RAM? Yeah, we can do that. So we're looking into what our minimum specs will be as we optimize and as we kind of push forward. I think we do need to see a couple of these optimizations come into play before we really can lock that in. But I don't see any reason why we can't have that posted in the not so distant future. So
yeah, I do think the key there is once we lock it in, we've got a lot of improvements that we want to make with in regards to performance, and really allow lower spec machines to run it well before we publish that. So we know that we've got some room, some ground to make up there, and once we get it to a point that we're comfortable with, that's when we would publish those min specs. So great question though.
Yep. Well, and I know for a fact, once we start getting a larger influx of avatars within the game, you and I, Xorling, we'll be talking about, just the number of avatars in a room and basically what we can handle there. So as we kind of zero in on those numbers, that'll help us understand from our side as well. So. Then we had a question from Blue Lizard 29. This was the question surrounding why some decals didn't get added for the Feyment. So I did kind of answer that, but just to reiterate, we're always exploring new ideas and we're always iterating. And yeah, it's actually pretty common for things to get concepted, built, tested, and then maybe cut if they don't make it. But we'd love to hear from the community if there are specific pieces that they saw in previews or sneak peeks that they wish we would have added, because there are always future avatars and future themes that we'll be applying, so we could put them back in if needs be.
This is interesting because there is clearly some subjectivity here. A lot of times the creatives will come up with so many different ideas, and all of them, I wouldn't even say just some of them, I'd say all of them are really good. And at that point, somebody's job to just kind of stack rank it and say, oh, here's the our favorite whatever it is 20, and sometimes the ones that fall off are that others of us find really really cool and interesting. And I've actually seen that at the company, is there's been certain things that and again it's the subjectivity that have fallen off that I would have loved to have seen, but it's kind of the way it goes. Now, clearly, I am
Well, and
no creative genius by any means. It's actually scary to have a tech guy talking about creativity that goes on around here.
I don't know. You're pretty creative with the back end of things. So I do think me, I guess me personally, when I look at these, I think we have to. The subjectivity aside, it's really hard to know what the players are attaching to and what they're really loving. I'm hopeful to see a little bit of that in the imp creation. So we'll be able to track and see what attributes are selected and what imp designs are common versus uncommon in terms of what players are choosing. So really excited to just kind of see what that uptake looks like, and hopefully that can help inform some of the content we build in the future as well. Along uh, the imp generator lines, or the NFT generator lines, we do have a question from Sweepy asking what is the utility of the imp, and what is the difference between the actual NFT and the next avatar. And so a good way to think about the imp avatar is it's kind of like a sidekick to the Fae. So we consider it effectively like a secondary avatar. So for anyone who owns a Fae, right, they get a creator token, and that token gives them access to the generator to make their very own imp. Well, that imp, its utility is that it is another avatar that can be used to log in to the game of Cinder as a standalone character. The imp, being different than the Fae, will actually have a different set of affinities for different daisho. And so this will have an impact utility-wise on how daisho capturing, training, and combat play out. And gosh, I think as we kind of move forward, we're going to see a little bit more utility come in as combat is revealed. So I would say it doesn't really stop there, but at its very, very core, the utility is access to the world, and it is affinity for specific daisho, which is very much like a blanket statement for the feature set in combat that it will influence. If that made sense. Did that make sense?
I think it made sense. Hack?
I'm good.
Good to go. Okay.
Cool. I'll go for one more here from
I'm actually
Hexel.
waiting. I'm waiting for the moment. For me, an imp, I guess part of the utility for me is just that creative expression, like being able to use my token and create this imp, which then I can, log in as or send to a friend that hasn't been able to participate in the world of Cinder yet. But I know, Cypher, you've got a lot more in mind than just that. But even at its simplest form, I think people are really going to love it.
Yeah, and I do feel for those who enjoy the NFT generator, I'm so excited to share the daisho customizer. I think that's going to be a pretty epic reveal, personally. So I'm going to move to Hexel's question here. I thought this was an interesting one, but Hexel asked, because the 444 initial Fae have been minted, does that mean that there are not going to be any more Faes, or no more Genesis versions of Faes? And is this the same for future creatures? That is correct. There will only ever be the 4,444 Genesis Fae. It's a little bit different when we look at things like the imp. So as we handed out these creator tokens, that allows for 4,444 imps to be created or generated, but that does not have to stop there. And I think CinderCypher touched on this pretty well last week in last week's AMA with this idea that we may dole out another token or two for the imp. We might dole multiple out over the course of the year, and as our second mint comes out a little bit later this year, that will be another avatar with a limited run that will not be reminted, but will come with creator tokens for another secondary avatar. And so we look at this as all of those Fae holders have the ability with each token drop to generate the new avatars and grant access to the Cinder metaverse. So I think that's pretty cool, pretty powerful. So a couple others, and Xorling, I know I kicked a couple of these over your way. There was one that you were saying that you could answer regarding where we are storing the IMP creator token.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The question, let me go find it real quick.
Cool. I think there might be two there for you. I'm not sure, but.
All right. So the question was, the image for the IMP creator token is stored on a centralized server, content.cinder.io, and it's not a decentralized ARWeave network like the images for the Fae. Will the images of minted imps be stored? So basically the question really comes down to, are we going to store on a centralized server or decentralized server like ARWeave? And really, really good question. One thing that I've been following really closely is kind of the market itself and where other people and significantly large projects, what they're doing. And there's pros and cons to every approach. Star Atlas, for one, and that's one that I follow closely as far as their technology and some of their business decisions. And if you look into it and you peek under the hood, many, if not all, of their blockchain entries, their NFTs, are being stored on their centralized, I believe it's actually running in AWS, centralized servers. No, sorry, it's Google Cloud. But that's a method of reducing costs and also providing them with an ability to update some of this content easier. So it's not just the image itself, but there's also metadata that they're storing. And when it comes to games, NFT-based games, I actually think they're trying to position themselves where they can bring some additional utility by having it a little more flexible on their centralized servers. Now, when we say centralized, it really doesn't mean it's one. You know, they still are decentralized in the sense that they're highly available and redundant, kind of spread across the cloud there. But we haven't really decided which way we're going to go. We do know that something like our tokens, the creator tokens, those we see as ephemeral. That's something that you're going to be you put into the NFT generator machine and it goes away. So we were very comfortable and confident that putting it on the content.cinder.io servers is the right call. It actually reduces our costs and makes it easier for us to tweak and tune and dial things in. So it's a great question, and I guess the end of the answer is I'm not sure exactly which way we're going to go yet. We're kind of just watching the market and trying to decide what's going to provide the best user experience to you guys. So any follow-up questions?
Cool.
Cypher, you can act as a proxy.
I have one. Yes, I think there's a question here regarding, has there been any effort made on creating a Linux client for Cinder?
Yeah, we've explored it. This comes down to really how many people would take advantage of that, because it's not something that's just turnkey, quick and easy to do. So what we have to do is we have to balance out our available resources, meaning our engineers' time, make sure that whatever efforts we are tackling, it's going to provide the greatest benefit to the broadest audience. And at this moment in time, I don't know how many of you are talking to or Linux Mint or any of these other distributions, but if it came out and people said, yeah, this is something we're really interested in, then it might ratchet it up in the ladder. But for now, we have explored it. We have a pretty good idea of what it would take. There's not any technical concerns. It could be done. It's just we'd certainly rather spend our time building features that everybody's going to be stoked about and be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, that makes sense. We do have another one. I can tackle this one. So we have this question that says, I mint an imp avatar, and someone else, unknowingly or not, makes their own imp creation exactly identical. Can they then mint it? The answer to this, and I think we've answered this on a previous AMA, but the answer to this is yes. So, we put a lot of focus into the imp generator to ensure that for every selection that the player makes and generating their NFT, that we can output attributes for those. However, we have not mandated that each imp avatar be a one of one. We saw a pretty cool. I wanted to call it a cool factor to being able to, if I own 3 Fae, to create a squad that are all either of an identical theme or that are just of my liking, and really didn't want to create that rush where you've got bots jumping in to generate as quickly as possible to eat up the attributes so that they're not available for others. We didn't really want to treat the creator token in that way. But as a kind of a short answer, yes, they would be able to mint it. And as the long answer, they would be able to mint it because we don't really have any concern over the fact that there could be 2 identical imp NFTs in this case. Now, it's worth noting that when you look at all of the options that are available to you within the generator, I think without some coordination or without an individual doing this by themselves intentionally, I think it's pretty unlikely that you'd see 2 select all of the exact same attributes, but it's possible, yes.
There's a huge number of combinations in the attributes that I'm seeing right now. So, I mean, I think it probably rolls into the billions of potential avatars. But I'm one of those people that I could see wanting to use 3 of my tokens to make a squad, a little posse, and then maybe send it to my friends. And so, anyway, it's kind of a fun play pattern that sometimes it goes against what people are used to when you're talking about NFTs. But I think it's something that people will really gravitate towards and enjoy.
Yep. And gosh, we've tackled so many here. I'm trying to see if there are any other questions on this list that we have time for today. I'm just trying to see here. All right. I think we are close here.
How many creator tokens do you have? I'd like to see a hack attack squad. And if you don't have any, I'm sending you any available ones that I do have.
Send me some, because I know I have a. It's been a very busy week. Okay, it's been a very busy week for me.
I know.
I have to check my wallet actually. It's been a while since I checked it, but yeah, just you know what? Just send some my way. Yeah, do
Yeah.
that. Because I'm still, like some people in here, I'm still learning NFTs, and I think I've had a fast education, but there are some times where I feel afraid to comment because I'm like, oh man, is this the right thing, or am I going to sound like an idiot? You know what I mean? That's just like, does anybody
I
else
think we
feel
all.
that way?
I think all of us feel that. Yeah, it's still every day. This industry is changing. It's really fast paced. So even those of us that live in it,
So
it's
I have, so I have a, yeah,
you're
I
not
have,
alone.
yeah, so I do have one, I believe, creator token, but I'm always open to more.
Yeah, you can't make a hack attack squad with one. I'm just saying you're gonna have you need at least 3.
Okay, well then send them my way. That's fine, and you are more than allowed to send another Faye my way. You know what? Throw some Solana in there. I'm free. I'm open. No, I wanted to make sure I was talking about the right thing. And yes, I only have one creator token so far, but I love the idea of a hack attack creator token.
Yeah.
And but I have like a nice little collection of collectibles on my Phantom wallet now, and it's a nice view. So thank you to Cinder for that. Um, but maybe we should just have creator token themes of people who've worked on the game.
Ooh.
I know, right? Like,
Cypher, write that one down.
we definitely need one for Roxanne, the mod for Discord. Definitely. because she's awesome. And honestly, Zach, you guys, you know what? Let's just have multiple creator tokens of just the whole team. There you go. If you can, let's see. I'm down for that.
I like it.
Cypher, are there any questions that have come up in our Discord as we've been talking? We've kind of gone through some of those initial ones that we've hit, but is there anything that's coming out?
There are a few that have popped up here, and I also I just caught one that was regarding the creator tokens, and actually it was asking if players hang on to their creator tokens for collection purposes, will they ever have a way to display them? And I can confidently say that yes, they will. We have some features coming in that are inbound that will allow players to show off not just NFTs or components that are specific to Cinder, but also components that are specific to their wallet, right? NFTs and maybe their collection that they want to show off, even though it contains NFTs outside of the Cinder universe. So I think that's coming, and I think that's a pretty exciting feature update that we'll be looking at a little bit later in the year.
So to clarify, they were wondering about showing their own collections. Maybe it's they've got Crash Pandas. They want to be able to show, and what's in their wallet. So that reminds me, there's some ad, what's in your wallet. So that's kind of where they're going, right? The actual creator token itself, once it's inserted into the NFT generator, that's going. I guess maybe this is an opportunity for us to think about things, but at this point, technically, that token goes away. It's like when you put money into a slot machine, it typically doesn't come back. It doesn't come back for me. Maybe it does for you, Cypher, but but that's how the creator token is currently being viewed. Is it actually does get burned once the NFT is generated? So something to think about, though, maybe in game, showing that you are a creator of an imp or something along those lines. Anyway.
Cool.
Just a thought.
I did just rope in a few additional questions that we can answer here, and so I do see one from Xenia that asks, "Is Cinder based off or inspired by the book Cinder?" And I have to say the answer is no, because I have not read the book Cinder, but now I'm interested in reading that book just to see.
I am as well. If you find it, send it my way. I didn't even know there was a book.
I don't know. We'll take a look. I see another one here from TXX33 that says, "When will Cinder consider about collab program?" We are actively pursuing collaborations, and that's some of the stuff that CinderCypher was talking about. I expect more information to come on that next week when he returns. So yeah, those are being considered now, and we're just kind of setting the stage and making sure that we're ready to go. Let's see. Xenia, spending $80 to $100 for access to Cinder is already expensive as is. Will the daily gameplay of Cinder be affordable for everyday gamers? I believe the answer to that is yes, and I think part of that comes from these second generation NFT avatars. So as more creator tokens are released into the wild and more of you are creating and generating these new NFTs, you're expanding, right, that access to more and more players. Because the imp, for example, is not as rare or as scarce as the Fae, over time, they may not be valued at the same price that a Fae is, and may be considered an easier entry-level access avatar or entry-level avatar for access to the world of Cinder. So I think that's one way to look at it. And then a lot of the game is being centered around this play-to-earn component, as well as the acquisition of the currencies, the Ash and Ember currencies. While we will have the ability to make in-game purchases or basically marketplace purchases for things like new daisho or new characters, those things aren't necessarily required. Once you're in the game, you would have the ability to play. Those other purchases would be to enhance that experience or maybe enhance your earning potential, but that's where we see that affordability coming into play. Right now, we look at a lot of these early adopters, you guys as investors, and that you've basically purchased these Genesis Fae for, in our eyes, for this opportunity to help us build this world, to help us build these new characters, and to partake in a little bit of that revenue or royalty stream when you are able to sell those to other players to give them access. So pretty cool.
Yeah, if I can, I think that's exactly it. It's a lot of these projects, they're coming with a promise. So it's you're spending a couple $100s, and actually $80 to $100 is even on the lower scale. I've seen so many of these projects, and I'm sure all the rest of you have as well, where people are investing, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a promise that may never come to fruition. It's saying that you're going to be able to race this car that you just purchased, this NFT car or whatever. But a lot of these projects are coming from people that have never built a game, and I'll tell you what, it's hard. It's really, really hard. A game company is not just like any other business. It's like five businesses melted together. And you've got an animation studio and an audio studio and an engineering company, and all of it kind of combined. While I get what Cini is saying as far as the initial cost, um, I see that Cinder is moving into a direction that many of these never will. They never will achieve. And some people have already seen a return on their investment. I can't remember who keeps on winning any of these competitions. It's Penniless Imp, because I laughed. Penniless Imp is not penniless, um, because they've been participating in our cocktail hour and some of these contests that we have held. But in the end, I think there's a number of people that it's already their investment has already paid off, and they're enjoying it. But the key for us is continuing to build something that you guys will enjoy for years to come, and also see as a potential investment where you can get some kind of a kickback, get some kind of a reward for it. So
Yeah, I honestly think it's pretty exciting, and for those who come on early and stay engaged, I think there's a lot to be earned from this. So there are a couple others here. I might do these a little out of order. They're really quick. So I'm so sorry, I can never say these names, but Pishan, I think, asks if there are any leaks for the secret stat. There are some links for the secret stat in the white paper, so I would encourage you to take a quick look at the white paper. If you're looking for the secret stat for the Fae, there is a little bit of a definition in there for the first reveal of what that stat does for the character. Torxio asks, will the imps have secret stats? They actually will not. That's a part of them being a secondary avatar and not having some of the utility of the Genesis Fae. We're going to ensure that those Genesis characters always maintain their scarcity and maintain their exclusive stats. We had one more from Pishan about, can you explain more about the imp and mini games? Interested to know more. So in terms of the imp, or in regards to the imp, hopefully we're getting a good visual here from the generator. I can tell you what the imp's a Gemini. He's 5'6". No, but he is the secondary character. Does provide access to the game. Is going to be able to participate in the same capture, combat, and training activities that a Fae will. And in fact, I've been meeting with Xorling this week to basically move through some of our capture mechanic prototypes, and so we're actively working on those right now. In advance of our Daisho release, so really excited for that. And then one last one here. We had a question from Overeasy. Will the gemstone on the forehead change color based on what mint it's from? So Genesis Fae equals teal, for example. That's actually a really cool idea. Right now we do have, and you'll note this, the gemstone on the forehead is actually the same gemstone on the imp that it is on the Fae, and that is intentional, right? We're partnering these two avatars or pairing them together because there are some cool things we could do with these paired characters in the future. Not to seed something too early, but there are a lot of things that we could be doing there, and so that's kind of how we've thought about it. But the color idea is pretty cool. I'll throw that into a conversation and see what comes out of it. And I think now we're starting to near the end, Zorling. I think that's most of them.
Yeah, actually, I will be running the script that will be finding somebody that's in the game right now, and will deposit a soul to their wallet. But this last question that came in, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to say Swall. Spending 150 for NFTs for every gamer. Will the gamers earn back from the game? Basically, the question is, will gamers be able to earn? That's the entire goal. Not only having fun, but being able to see the return on the investment. And I think Cinder's unique in what Cypher's got going on with the team, the designers, and everybody involved, the creatives. It's not just one way that you'll be able to earn back. There's going to be multiple ways, and that's really exciting. So, again, kind of a long answer to a short question. So maybe the answer should just be yes. Okay. And with that, Cypher, are we ready to announce the final winner of the AMA?
I think we are.
All right. The final winner of the AMA hour is Garlic River. Garlic River, congratulations.
Oh.
You are one soul richer. In fact, we just talked about return on investment. There you go, Garlic River. You have, what is soul at today? 100, 102, $101 right now. When you're way. Congratulations.
Good job. Very cool. Oh, well, and then, so what? We've got 1 week left for cocktail hour. So everyone be sure to be logging in, and just as a reminder, that'll end next Friday. And then I believe we'll have CinderCypher back next Friday. Does anybody else know if that's true? I'm not sure.
I believe so. I believe so. That was the word on the street.
Cool. Well, not at all to put you on the spot, Zorling, and in fact, I probably can't totally put you on the spot here, but was really excited to show off the imp last week. Excited to show off the generator this week. Thoughts on next Friday? Do you think by next Friday we'll be able to give kind of a target for the release of the generator? And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I would hope so. And a lot of times, when you're working with tech and things that people have never done before, it's hard to come up with any kind of estimations. But we are making really good progress. We haven't hit any major blockers. The team's cranking away. So, yeah, I think there's a good chance.
That'd be awesome. I know for the imp itself, we'll be holding a final review on Monday, and that's just us going through every little nuance and making sure that everything is good to go. So getting pretty excited there, but yeah, and sorry for putting you on the spot. I know it's impossible to predict. So
I always tell people this is from the engineering perspective. If I drop like a 5,000, I don't even know if there's 5,000 piece puzzles, right? There's probably even bigger than that. For all those that do puzzles, somebody chime in and let me know the largest puzzle you've ever done. But the problem or the challenge that we're faced with daily is, someone plops this puzzle on your desk and says, "Hey, when are you going to have this put together?" And, you've never done it. You have no idea if it's a 1 hour puzzle or if it's a 1 week puzzle. So that's the world that we live in, and actually the one that we enjoy to live in, because it's fun, it's challenging, and once we do complete our tasks or what we're trying to accomplish, it's really rewarding. So a lot of fun. For all of you that have thought about going to the gym, there you go. That's what you can look forward to.
I'm excited to see all this come together. But
okay, with that, Hack, do you have any parting words of wisdom? I'm taking that as no.
Sorry. I forgot I was muted. I do not have something planned just yet for social, but watch out on Monday. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for your submissions. They look great. I'm super excited about the imp and about the generator. That's going to be really fun to share. And I'm just looking forward to the day it's here. But yeah, that's really it for me. I'm easy.
Awesome.
I had a long week, so I'm just like, ugh.
Well, rest up this weekend, and that goes for the rest of you. Have a weekend, and thanks everybody for participating. It's been fun.
All right.
We'll look forward to next week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.